here we are with an estimated 370 player Smoke and Steel League event for you tonight. Our first round is going to be the Schoolhouse Ridge between the 10th United States and the Jackson's Division, followed up by the Flemming's Meadow between the Free States Brigade token and what would have been the Alabama Volunteer Corps token. However, their regiment has disbanded, so it'll be FSB, Free States Brigade, versus everyone on the opposing side. Here are the standings in the event without Alabama Volunteer Corps. They don't matter anymore for this event anyways. And in terms of the regiments tonight, here are they. Server population with that all in mind is 383 actually. CSA right now up by 16. So past 15 is where it's too much to overcome in terms of an imbalance, which is fluctuating. But for now, CSA taking 9 on artillery. Union has 10. So the infantry imbalance is going to be 17 in favor of the CSA side. We'll see if that fixes as things go on, though. Union side perspective, you have Soundwave here from the 7th Michigan. And then on the CSA side, we have Deckhart from the 23rd New York. Appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while also seeing what is going on in the sky. If you're playing in this match, send me a link to your POV, and we can place that in the pinned comment of the video. So, Schoolhouse Ridge was originally about a 34% advantage to the attacking CSA side. However, with the ticket balance changes that the developers added about a month and a half ago at this point anyways, the Union now actually has a ticket advantage of about 3%. So a 37 percentage point swing in favor of the Union side. And that has really made this map a slugfest, because historically CSA could, with having a huge ticket lead, Union tickets would drain a little bit quicker, but since Union got a huge buff in tickets, it is impossible for either side to get their opponent's tickets down. So it'll be interesting to see how CSA plays that. They can either be overly aggressive or try to early cap, or maybe, they'll just be a shootout. Who knows? That CSA attacking side, they have the 6th Louisiana Regiment with the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 55, and the 13th Virginia with the option of the Enfield, the Springfield 55, but also the Springfield 42. So they have the shotguns as an option. And the Union defense, on the other hand, they have the 32nd Ohio with the option of the Lorenz and the Springfield 61, and the 126th New York with the Enfield. Something to note in terms of the balance, they just announced the 7th Ohio and the Shenandoah regulars are balancing over. Yeah, it looks like they're balancing over. I was just reading that second server announcement, just explaining the balance. So we'll look at the balance in a couple of minutes, but appreciate 7th Ohio and Shenandoah regulars for balancing over. Of course, very helpful in that way. Last thing to note, kind of saw it in the intro, but just as a reminder, Jackson's Division, they're the regiment that picked this map. 10th United States decided to play as Union, which is why Jackson's Division is leading CSA. CSA is going to get right into it, and they're just going to go and charge. So CSA overwhelming this Union right flank. At least getting a foothold, but can they break through? A lot of Union still here. It's going to be things CSA's pinched right now. I mean, Union team kind of surrounds. It's surprising this Union group did not get involved in this charge, because Union's kind of being defeated in detail. One Union flag down.
Question mark. No.
Looks like you got some more Union rolling up. That Union flanking force, they're starting to get up.
Get these flags up! Get these flags up!
So Union looks like they will prevail in the charge. CSA having initial success. I mean, getting down those 2 Union flags. But Union eventually reinforced each other, and that saved the day. Well, what's fascinating, though, of the CSA side is we didn't see them bring up their flags in that charge. And traditionally, what the CSA like to do on this map is they generally like to charge the flanks. We just saw them charge one. However, the flank they prefer to charge is this corner here with this tree. CSA love going to this spot. And so it looks like they drew the Union to the complete opposite side of the map by charging that side, respawning at their main spawn over here, and then they brought the respawns over here. It looks like CSA flags originally went to this wooded side, but maybe didn't go all the way and are now running back to allow CSA to get those mobile respawns. You know what's crazy too? We just saw both teams get into one huge charge, and both sides barely down any tickets. I mean, this map, since the ticket balance changed, it's just difficult for either side to go down tickets. Really good for the defenders, not so much for the attacking side. Again, we'll see how CSA kind of reacts. I mean, a great charge to start for them, all things considered. They're slightly down on tickets, but not by a whole lot, and a lot of time left as well. So a lot of Union main spawns pushing out, getting into a big kind of shooting line right now. This point of contention, by the way, a little further down the road in the center of the map. Union at least just trying to keep distance, which is a good idea, right? I mean, normally as a defender, right, your goal is to get that black timer down to 0, alternatively win on the ticket battle, which right now Union's winning on both of those things. Not by much on the tickets, but, you know, it's a little win. But especially with a map where it's impossible to get either side's tickets down quickly, you know, Union sitting back, forcing this to be a shootout and killing that time can be a very good way to go about it. I mean, and we'll see if the CSA side wants to push this by making their way to a point. Now, a lot of the Union team on the right side of the map, Union right, starting to turn to the center, get onto the point, so at least they're holding the point, not letting CSA just walk up to it freely. Fascinatingly, though, some of the CSA are still on this side of the map. It's kind of Sussy Brigade guys there. 23rd New York, red, white, and blue, Shenandoah Regulars. But, yeah, it's maybe just a couple survivors in the woods that haven't died yet from the fighting on this side of the map. But server population right now, looks like we're up to 390 at this point. With the balance over to Union from 7th Ohio and the Shenandoah Regulars, unless, you know, we just saw Tall Gray SR is CSA, so he hasn't died yet, so probably why he hasn't balanced over. But Union right now down by 11. In terms of artillery, CSA is 9, Union has 10, same as before, so it's a 12-man infantry imbalance in favor of the CSA side. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Union lines really extending out towards CSA spawn, but this Union line from left to right, you got the 5th New Hampshire, a couple of their guys. They've replaced the Alabama Volunteer Corps in this event. Glad to have them here. You have the Free States Brigade mixed in as well with more 5th New Hampshire line there. To the right, you got 7th Michigan. Long line from them. Really in open order too, which is nice to see. To their right, 12th Virginia, 10th United States. See a couple 7th Ohio and Free States Brigade. Missouri State Guards guys are trickling over here. And this Union Regiment over here of Corn Brigade, 30th Ohio in particular. 8th Ohio on their right. They're kind of exposing themselves here. I mean, they're trying to protect this Union right side, and I think CSA kind of realizes this, and they're shifting a lot of their team's attention to Corn Brigade. And the rest of the Union team, realizing this, is reacting and starting to push up to the snake fence. And I wonder if they're going to try to charge and take the corner just to prevent CSA from getting it. I mean, you do have 9th Louisiana, 51st Alabama here for the CSA side, in a slight defilade here in cover. At least starting to get a shootout with the Union. At least, I mean, they've been in a shootout, but I think they're just trying to defend this corner while the rest of the CSA pushes up and tries to charge out Corn Brigade, who's retreating. Good on Corn Brigade for realizing what was going on and backing off right away. A lot of groups sit for way too long, and then they'll get wiped. CSA holding up in the woods for now. A couple of the Union guys still to the northeast. Sussy Brigade at least pushing them right now. A mix of groups. 59th New York, one of them in the front though.
Don't you run! Don't you run! Turn around and fight like a real man!
I'm gonna bonk you. Bonk you.
Come here, you yellow belly! I shot him! Come here, you yellow belly!
So, fascinatingly, Sussy Brigade, they're bringing their flag with. Looks like Union is having a couple of their guys shift to the corner. Meanwhile, opposite corner, CSA lines have backed off as some of the Union's getting involved. I don't know why these Union guys up top are still shooting it out when 12th Virginia is in the thick of it. Little outnumbered. Jackson's division, 9th Louisiana here. Do they have the buck and ball? Looks like they don't. Which is a little surprising that the furthest forward CSA team does not have the buck and ball. Nonetheless, though, they're holding off seemingly well so far. I mean, both flanks being hit right now. Sussex Brigade with Colquitt's Brigade now pushing up. 10th United States shifting with Corn Brigade. Try to defend. Holy crap, those couple shots just shredded right through 10th US. I don't know why 10th US is standing here. I mean, I guess they're a little higher elevated to see the CSA better, but you're putting yourself way more visible to them as well. I mean, CSA is just holding it indefinitely. Let them come up to you and then take the shot from there. To the south, southwest, 2 Corps now arriving. 1st Delaware in as well. And Union kind of being pinched right now on this flank. I mean, a lot of the Union shooting it out with CSA on CSA right. And the rest of the CSA is kind of taking advantage. Free States Brigade shifting from center. Not a lot of them, though. Relative to 2 Corps.
To the right, get up and over.
Please don't shoot me in the ass. That's not very John Wayne.
That ain't good.
So they'll keep the shootout going. CSA not charging over yet.
I need more people on the right flank of the line. I need more people on the right flank of the line.
The flagellation.
Dear God, I should.
A couple of CSA actually going over right now, a mix of them. And I mean, CSA is just kind of defeating in detail here. I mean, it just feels like the Union outnumbered. It feels like that. And I mean, they are, you know, by 10 to 15. But that's, you know, it's less than 15. So it's just weird. Maybe CSA is just blatantly out shooting them and out killing them. Union lines back off a little bit. Trying to use the death blade. They need to fall back a little more, though. They're starting to. A couple CSA charging into them. Nice already shot in the distance there. So CSA takes the Union right side. They have a foothold. Looks like they have 2 of their flags, the other 2 being on the opposite side, and they're actually pushing up. Some of them charging into the Union line. A little scattered there. I don't know if this was the intent. It's like a couple Jackson's division guys charged in there, and they back off. Colquitt's Brigade is with them. And then 51st Alabama, 9th Louisiana holding down the flank. So far, a really successful round from CSA. Again, they're slightly down on tickets, but the fact that both sides are getting close to engage by the 30-minute mark is impressive. Here's a charge.
My bad, friend Calvin. I think I didn't mean to stab you, brother. There we go.
Nice shit. Good shit, boys.
Kill the rest of them. Kill the rest of them. Come on, boy.
You Yankee boy! Oh! Take him out.
We are moving.
We did it, boys.
So that charge is won by CSA. Union lose 2 flags there. 5-minute despawn time on that. At least Union already can get a shot in. At least, you know, make them feel a little better about that. But it's huge for the CSA side. Again, the skirmish map, it's one of the bigger ones, so knocking down those flags for either side going to be huge, and CSA is actually pushing up their way to point. Not on it yet. 2 Corps near it. I wonder if they're going to hit the Union side to engage and then cap just to make sure that clock timer is down. Now, I should also note as well, looks like the 23rd New York is going to be balancing over from CSA to Union. So as a result, the view on the top left will no longer be a CSA representative, but a Union representative. So we're not biased at all, believe me. But no, yeah, I appreciate 23rd New York for balancing over. Again, balancing over is going to be the most important thing. Now, apologies for that, but, you know, it is what it is. So CSA is essentially taking over the map, though, at this point. I mean, anywhere the Union approaches is in the open. They picked up those down flags, at least for them, starting to run them back. But it's a very good round from CSA. I think they're just waiting to hit the Union down to engage and then early cap that point. Just because if they were to, you know, you can capture the point whenever you want. However, if the defenders are engaged versus battle ready, you only have to hold up for 12 minutes to win compared to 20 minutes when the defender's in battle ready. Which, I mean, Colquitt's Brigade is running through the point right now. Again, it wouldn't hurt them either way to capture early or whatnot, but, you know, if you're trying to win the game by just capping the point, you know, cutting off 8 minutes of that time would be, I think, very nice. So Colquitt's Brigade was just running through the point. Looks like they didn't mean to capture whatsoever, but the Union side's going to have to break out. Now, the nice part, at least for the Union side, and a little bit of the tricky part for the Union side as well, CSA split themselves up pretty far, right? You have a CSA right force, technically on Union left, CSA right, though, and the other group on the opposite side. If the whole Union team hit one of these flanks, they could defeat in detail, which is what we've kind of seen the CSA team do to the Union initially on this round. I mean, CSA, that first charge, they won by defeating half the Union team. Now, Union ended up winning that charge because CSA flags weren't really involved in that. But also, right, half the Union team was kind of behind the charge. Eventually, they charged in. And those two reasons, the flag and the rest of the Union team getting involved, were kind of the reasons Union pulled it out in the end. But if Union could hit one of these sides, I mean, CSA spreading themselves out really far right now. But, I mean, what I think the Union team's doing is, like, CSA's not early capping, so there's no need for us to really get aggressive and charge in. You know, we're just going to keep killing the time here. And why not? They have to be waiting for Union to engage, but the fact they're not hitting the ground or hitting them down is crazy. 10th US up on the Artie. 59th New York wants them dead. CSA hits engaged first.
Battery pull.
Yeah, you're dead. That's an infantry officer, not some fucking pussy up here on Artie. Learn how to really fight, you fucking bitch.
5-9, back and bounds.
Run away, pussy! That's right.
So, Union's got to hit engaged in a second or so. If CSA doesn't early cap, or sorry, yeah, if they don't early cap once Union hits engaged, I'm going to be confused with what Jax's division side is doing here. I've been told they play this map a lot, and they love this map. But we'll see. We'll see. Looking at the server population with that balance in mind, CSA, I mean, we're almost at full pop at 400. CSA up by 11, considering the artillery, which still same numbers as the beginning, 9 CSA, 10 Union. You've got, what, a 12-man infantry imbalance in favor of CSA right now. Nice arty shot. I mean, that's like a perfect shot for this CSAR group. I mean, Union's in a big line that way. Union hits engaged. All right. I need to see an early cap from CSA here. I mean, 2 core, it looks like they're edging it right now, but a couple of the CSA running towards the center, yeah. Jax's division heading that way. There's no downside for them, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of charging, which if you're new to watching these type of battles, the amount of charging we've seen for this is a lot more than what you normally see. And even if there is similar charging, both sides would be down a good amount more on tickets than what we have here. The fascinating thing about the ticket balance changes that the developers have done is they keep increasing the amount of tickets that either side has when they do the change. So 2 ticket balance changes ago, it's not the most recent one, but the one before that, they buffed all the defenders' tickets. And then this most recent one, they changed both sides, but they only buff tickets. They never take away tickets, which is fascinating. And that's just going to, you know, make it a lot more difficult for the attackers to attack, you know, even if they get a little bit of a ticket buff. Just because the defenders still have a lot of tickets, there's a time limit. But CSA early cap, flag timer stops, gold timer begins. Union will see if they want to try and retake. Good on Union, though. I mean, it's understandable Union trying to just sit back, kill as much time as they can. Because the fact that Union just hit engage at about the 25-minute mark, you know, is really impressive. I mean, you've knocked almost half the game gone, and you've only lost 1 of 4 morale stages. So, it's really good. Now, for the Union to make this up, Union, or at least keep this going, they need to retake this point as quickly as possible. And then this event, the officers have a Steam chat. They can communicate with each other instantly. It's not like they have to send runners around. Now, some events have that, and as the years have gone on, more and more events are starting to do that, but not in this one. This is just so the token holder can effectively communicate with everyone else in on their team. Because everyone on the team is supposed to act like they're under one token holder. US side, everyone's got to act like they're 10th US almost. And everyone on CSA's almost got to act like they're in Jackson's division, in a sense. But Union side, they got to make a move. And it looks like their first move is to try to take their extreme left side back. CSA's kind of abandoned the area here. I mean, they just backed off. 7th Michigan looks like they're going to be the ones to push up and take it. 5th New Hampshire with. Question's going to be, when is the rest of the Union team going to get involved? I mean, there's a lot of CSA holding forward there. I don't know. CSA just seems so spread out, and the Union team is hitting them so spread out as well. It maybe seems like a little bit of a mistake, but we might have a charge here. Here they go.
I don't got my bayonet on, but I'm gonna give you this little tip.
Hold the line! Hold the line! Keep breaking, keep breaking. Hold.
CSA dominate the charge. Union lose a flag. JoJo trying to get the... Oh, he died. Wow, the officer running away.
Come back here, boy! You ain't worth it! You ain't worth it, boy! You get lucky this time!
So, yeah, I mean, good hold from CSA. A little confusing from the Union side there. I mean, it was not a bad idea to take the position, but they just charged in so outnumbered. And again, CSA split up. Union not really taking advantage of that so far. And Programmer, great guy when I've chatted him. Been very helpful with frontline reporter stuff. Soundwave as well from 7th Michigan. Shouldn't give him crap. The amount of crap that people give for, at least the 7th Michigan people give Programmer in the text chat for some of these events, it is something. I don't know if I can repeat half the stuff they say, but nonetheless, Union team, the center is now pushing forward. But here's the thing, right? Part of the Union team charge in, they just got wiped. CSA has had enough time to reform, and now only a fraction of the Union team is charging into the same CSA force that should hold them. We'll of course see, though. I mean, you still have a large part of Union not even involved in this. Got some CSA trying to swing in the back door.
Too little, too late, faggot.
So CSA kind of charging them, mostly just wanting to shoot them down, though. The rest of the Union looks like they're getting involved, though. Great charge, though, from 51st Alabama. Saw this with them in Garland Stand a long time ago, wiping Union flags at a critical time. That's huge. And Union will get those flags back up, but that's besides the point. Union respawns from 7th Michigan. 5th New Hampshire now getting involved. We got a brawl.
I'm so sorry, Sensei.
Glorious war.
Come on, I want to get Mr. Yankees. Come on. Push up back.
Wow, I missed.
Push up back.
For Gucci.
Hold together. Don't you fucking walk into them. You stay right here. I'll kill you. I'll do it.
Brace right.
Gotta keep these flags safe.
Well done, well done. Keep on getting. Come on, you want some of
All
this
these
too? Come
yanks
on.
off.
God damn you.
So each side still kind of has a corner, or at least the side of the road. 9th Louisiana charging the side. You still have a good amount of CSA up there harassing Union already.
Officer saying random shit and hoping that it sticks. You
made that.
So 9th Louisiana gets thrown back there. That Union flag that's down, it's been down for a little bit of time. I wonder if it'll despawn before they can pick it up. It'd be really funny if it did. No, never mind, they get it up. Vandal gets the flag. So CSA still holding point. You know, Union's kind of pushed them back a little bit, but not enough. If a Union arty shot landed here, that would be huge. But looks like that CSA force that was harassing Union arty is now leaving, which they should get to point. Looks like mixes of Sussy Brigade there. Union is charging CSA. Union has to try to wipe him to get the point back.
Oh my god.
It's like shooting squirrels with my 22.
You're getting smoked, dude. Good shit.
This guy sucks.
I'm sorry, good sir. Do you want me to whoop your ass? Come in.
I mean, huge hold for the CSA. I mean, look at this, right? Ever since the counterattack has began, both sides losing. I mean, CSA's lost 2/3. Union lost 3/4 of a morale stage. This is exactly the beautiful point of an early cap.
Listen here, you're getting this tip. You're getting the fucking shaft. All of you.
That Sussy force is flanking on the backside. And that really leaves the opening for the rest of the CSA team to retake the road completely. They just got to watch their flag, but it looks fine. A couple of the CSA charging up from point. That's Jackson's division. They want to try to get some Union flags down, or are desperately trying to get out right now.
Oh, you got it.
Kill that man that killed Remix.
Get that Yankee
Kill that man. Kill that fucking...
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
good shit.
Fuck them in the ass.
I got fucking ball for these.
So 2/3 of the way through the counterattack. CSA get a huge hold on point. It almost looked like Union was going to get it, but CSA just had so many numbers here. And, I mean, you know, I was a little concerned with CSA distracting a lot of that Union arty, but distracting that Union arty prevented Union arty from hitting a shot here, because, I mean, if you just look at the view that the Union battery position has, one, it's really high up, it's
Victory
beautiful.
Tree. All smoke in front of Victory Tree is bad. Victory Tree and point. Victory Tree and point.
Staff.
I mean, they got a clear shot. Question is, can they actually hit it,
Jesus
though?
Christ, there should be fucking rounds coming out of these barrels right now.
We're working on it, man.
Rebel side fence road. Victory Tree,
Hey,
Rebel
Sergeant.
side fence road point.
All right, let's watch this one shot.
Hey, Sergeant Welch. Yep.
A little short. Hit a guy, though.
Adjust fire slightly above that.
Thank you very
You're
much,
gonna hit
man.
dude.
I appreciate your efforts. I really do. We need you.
Case heard.
So, Union team, wow. All right. They're not going straight down the point. You know, you can kind of understand that, but holy, look how many people. I mean, you get, you know, 200 people on a side here, and that's a lot of guys. So it looks like the Union team, instead of going straight at them, is going to try to hit around the CSA left side. 2:30 on the clock. If CSA has more bodies on point, when the gold timer hits 0, they'll automatically win the game. Union can obviously capture whenever they want, or if they could force an overtime by having more bodies when the gold timer hits 0, they could extend this a little longer. Union team starts to go down the hill. They pivot, though. CSA that was running down has to back it up now. Most of the CSA wasn't even moving. What are these guys doing here?
You want to kill them, you have to get through us first. Alright, you gotta get through us.
You're gonna think there was 20 of us.
Yeah, you guys are fucked.
I think for Delaware healthy Union team, Union ain't winning this game. Anyways, this is Union's last good chance. Here they go.
Come near the fence. Don't reload. Come near the fence. Yeah, good job.
Come on, dirty fucking blood. Hey, you want some?
Kill the flag, kill the flag. Ah, dead flag.
It looked like the Union side had a window there, but in the end, the CSA had multiple flanking charges here, and it results in them getting a win. I mean, 2 Corps and 51st Alabama is what it looks like. But what a flank charge from them from the northeast side. I didn't even realize it was happening until, it was too late. I mean, imagine, it fakes me out up here. Imagine what it's like down there. So CSA is going to get a win here. Jax's division, good win on their part. They played this exactly how you should. I mean, 20 minutes into the round, you get the Union down to engage. That's not an optimal amount of time, which frankly for this map, that's kind of what you have to expect at this point. So you have to early cap, stop the timer, force a lot of charging to happen, and if you can hold it for the whole time like we just saw, that's great. Even if Union wins that, right, both sides lose about a morale stage there in that counterattack. And so, frankly, it's phenomenal for CSA either way. Obviously, the win is greater because it's quicker and, you for sure win the game there. But nonetheless, huge win for them. I mean, once CSA get that lane, it can be very difficult for the Union side to push down because they just got to go downhill across a wide open field. And CSA can pick up on it. As long as CSA reacts, they can hold competently. But the first couple minutes of that counterattack, a little confusing from Union. They just, 7th Michigan and 5th New Hampshire went in kind of all on their own, got wiped. The rest of the Union then kind of went in. And, they were fighting there for a minute, but CSA was able to hold. And Union already being, non-existent for that due to, some of the Sussy Brigade guys. Really well done from them. Good round from CSA. Look at those casualties. We'll see y'all shortly for round 2. And here we are with the second round. Server population to start our second round is currently 389. CSA down by 3 right now. Now down by 4 in terms of artillery. Each side has the option. CSA taking 13. Union side taking 8. So the infantry in balance is going to be 11 in favor of the Union side. So as we kind of saw in last round, there was a lot of balancing shenanigans that went on. The 7th Ohio, Shenandoah Regulars, and the 23rd New York balanced from CSA to Union. So, in between the previous round and this round, though, both sides switched. So the Union at the end of last round, whoever was Union is now CSA. Whoever was CSA at the end of last round is now Union. So they did that, and then they did some more balance fixes, which I'll try to describe to you as best as I can. If it doesn't make sense, I agree. So, they swapped the sides for round 2. Union, CSA, CSA now Union. Then they did some more balancing. 7th Ohio went from CSA to Union, and 9th Louisiana went from Union to CSA. And then on top of that, 23rd New York, who originally balanced over in the first round alongside 7th Ohio, got balanced over as well to Union. And Missouri State Guard got balanced over from CSA to Union. So it's very confusing. Again, I think just to summarize that, both sides switched from the previous round to this round. 7th Ohio, 23rd New York, and Missouri State Guard were set to be on CSA this round. Now they're back on Union or have switched to Union for the first time. And 9th Louisiana, who was supposed to be Union this round, is now CSA. Holy crap. That was a lot. That's probably the most amount of balancing shenanigans I've ever seen. And for those of you who are in the event, you understand. For those of you watching this who are like, who the heck cares? Well, I hope you understand the confusion and fun that is balancing in War of Rights. So, Flemming's Meadow, the leading regiment for the CSA side is the Free States Brigade. They did not pick the map. The League picked the map, who is their opponent. Now, it was, again, supposed to be the Alabama Volunteer Corps, but their regiment disbanded. They're no longer in this event. So everyone on the Union team, all the regiments are working together. So it's everyone versus Free States Brigade, if you want to describe it that way. But everyone picked Flemming's Meadow, this map, and Free States Brigade picked the CSA side. And a quick thing for the season points. Normally, if you are a leading regiment and you win, you get 10 points. If you're an assisting regiment, I think you get 1 point alongside that. But since there's technically no leading regiment on the Union side, they all will just get an assisting point. So 1 point if they win, nothing if they lose. Nonetheless, though, onto the map itself, it was a 14% ticket advantage for the attacking Union side. However, the developers in their ticket balance chains doubled the amount of ticket advantage that the Union side has. Union now has a 28% ticket advantage. That Union attack on this map, they have the 15th Massachusetts with the Lorenz and the 2nd Wisconsin with the option of the Springfield 61 and the Lorenz. Meanwhile, the CSA defense, they have the 4th Alabama with the option of the Springfield 55 in the Enfield, and the 30th Virginia with the option of the Springfield 55, Enfield, and the Springfield 42. So, with that all being said, Union and CSA are pushing out to the extreme flanks right now. And Union has 51st Alabama, Missouri State Guard on the far side. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, Union is about to charge into this completely.
Shoot. Hold the line, hold the line. Braces.
Spear wall. Hold this line, don't break it, hold this line.
Hold it.
Oh, they're coming for you, Flag.
Come here.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
One side of the line, and then take it in.
Remember.
Oh, don't charge him. Let him come over to us. Back up, Jay Gaming. Wait for them.
Stand and shoot me. Stand and shoot.
So it looks like Union is starting to get a foothold here, which could be a concern for the CSA side. Now, CSA keeping a good amount of their forces on the left side to deal with the small Union force over here. And that's the key, right? CSA has a defensive line across the whole kind of length of this hill that they're on here with the point in the center. And so, as a result, it's a great defensive line. It's a hill. They have a depth lay. The biggest thing is they can't lose a foothold on here. More and more CSA starting to shift over this way to hold it. Union, their foothold is starting to be broken a little bit.
And we found them. I think we should yell some more.
And so even though it looked like it was a bit of a scare for CSA, the reinforcements show up. You got the 10th United States kind of in the back side, shooting down, and then on the flank you got the 9th Louisiana Free States Brigade and Corn Brigade kind of taking shots into the side, almost getting a crossfire. Now, Union did get one CSA flag down, so, you know, at least a little progress there. And it looks like 10th US pushing forward a little bit. They're trying to get that flag and pull back. Union lines are wavering here. Looks like they got a couple more guys in the center here. Looks like actually it's just 51st Alabama for Union that shifted this way. So far, kind of a, you know, a CS, as long as they can hold the defensive line, that's really all that matters. Going over this defensive line briefly, right? CSA left side right now, you got the Kentucky Outlaws and 12th Virginia holding on the left side with some artillery here. Again, they're slightly deflated right now, so they're in cover shooting at the Union, who has to cross kind of a wide open field, and that applies really to this entire map. No one really in the center outside of 51st Alabama for the Union side, but we've seen the CSA defensive lines. They're still holding here. Union lines have been pushed back completely.
You should crank the volume up on your microphone. It's super loud. Like, I'm even ridiculously loud. Get the flag up, gentlemen. The flag is down. Like, you remember how a common complaint with Colorado is that his
And so, I mean, right now, tickets fairly even. I mean, CSA slightly up right now. Union line, they're holding a little further forward, getting into a shootout. My apologies if I'm talking and then stopping. There's just a little thing called a tornado warning, and I'm keeping my eyes on it, because if it gets above me, then I'm going to stop. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll try to keep this going as long as it can. If not, then I'll just set the camera up high, and then we'll watch the fight as is. So, CSA side, I mean, they're kind of just pinching the Union team right now. Corn Brigade, 7th Michigan, 5th New Hampshire. I don't know why I said Corn Brigade, but they go up further to the north here, and they're kind of completely pincering this Union team, slowly pushing them back. Looks like the 51st Alabama guys charging in the center. And, I mean, the CSA side is essentially doing everything they need to do. Now, a little slow reaction initially. I mean, with the Union on the right side here, which is, let's see, Colquitt's Brigade, Missouri State Guard. They're in cover, right? Bushes and trees. CSA don't necessarily know how many Union are there, which is kind of understandable why the Union side, or rather the CSA side, my apologies, kept guys over on this side of the map. And so, as a result, Union was kind of able to get a foothold over here just because CSA had a lot of their guys concentrated this way. Now, as CSA started shifting more and more guys over here, the CSA defense, you know, started to hold out there a little bit. And I mean, with the buck and ball that the CSA team has, I mean, half the team has the option of it. You know, this should be a fairly easy map for CSA to win. That's what we've historically seen. That's why the Union got an increase of 14% in tickets, is due to the fact that the CSA side, it's just a strong map for the CSA team, just because, again, they have the defilade and the shotguns. Union, though, fascinatingly, shifting their attention away from the woods, trying to go to the center here, where there is a bit of a foothold. Jack's division going up here right now. CSA countercharging this. It's Corn Brigade.
Hi, Sussy.
Yankee aggression will not be tolerated.
I fight for Israel!
No, don't do it.
I fight for Israel!
CSA pushing up on the right side. I mean, Union's keeping a little distance. I don't know why these guys, who are they? I mean, 2 Corps. I'm shocked 2 Corps shooting it out instead of charging it in. I mean, Union's kind of splitting their attention right now, and it's allowing CSA to hold this arty position, if not win it back.
You killed my friend.
Yeah, nice good. No, we're not. We gotta kill him.
Don't let him retake the chance. Come here.
So, I mean, CSA kind of barely holding on, but, I mean, they're holding on. That's all that kind of matters. I mean, you could see we've had about a similar amount of charges to start the round for this round as it was in the previous round, and both sides almost into engaged here. You know, within the first 11 minutes of the match. You know, a lot quicker than what we saw in the last round, with it taking till the 25-minute mark to get someone down to engage. So, CSA right side kind of backs off a little bit as the Union attention kind of circles back to kind of shooting it out on this left side. Again, keeping the flags up over here. They have 2 flags in the center here. I don't know, where's the 3rd Union flag? I mean, I assumed there was a Union flag over here, but is there... Where's the 4th Union flag? I mean, the Union right side's in center. Okay. I don't know where the 4th Union flag is. Unless it's down somewhere, which I don't see a down flag marker. Who knows? That's weird. Maybe I'm just blind. Nonetheless, though, CSA line in the center kind of holding here. CSA's, I mean, they're keeping a lot of forces on this left side, I think unnecessarily as well. I mean, you got the Kentucky Outlaws starting to shift further to the right here, which should really bolster this CSA center, which looked like it was close to breaking, but not there yet.
Dig in, sons of the South.
That's where we are on. No, I don't fucking know where we're supposed to be, but yeah. I think we're where we are. I'm killing people, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Kill, kill, kill.
I'm using a rifle because I don't listen.
So, I mean, the longer this kind of goes, I think the better it's going to be for the CSA. I mean, CSA's, no one's on their left side anymore. They're all in the center at this point. So, I mean, now that the CSA team has their full undivided attention on this kind of more their right side, but also kind of the center as well. I mean, this should be an easy hold for CSA, all things considered, right? We've seen the CSA line almost break twice, essentially, but they've been able to claw it back, and now that they have even more of their team over here starting to run this way, it's just going to be that much easier. Both sides hitting engage, even though, again, it's a better pace than last round. Actually, no, attackers are doing fine on tickets. All things, you want to hit the defenders down to engage by the 30-minute mark. So again, they're doing fine on tickets, and the fact that tickets are fairly even is really good news for the attackers. So even though the CSA line is holding, that's the important thing for CSA, is they need to hold the line. you know, if Union gets a foothold on anywhere of these positions, which I'm kind of panning through this fast, but they just have the Hill defensive line. If they lose anything there, they'll lose the map automatically. So they need to hold that, which they are. But CSA needs to kind of give themselves a little more of a ticket lead because Union's doing fairly good on time.
Ooh.
Keep the barrels hot, boys.
Oh, Lord.
Are they trying to flip their own gun?
Yeah, I'm moving. Fuck that cannon. Damn.
What are they doing? Why? Oh, the guns are tangling right now.
Oh God, it's taking me! It's taking me! It's taking me! Okay.
No way they can fire this gun. Hold up.
There we go. We fixed it.
Hey. Good job, Shifty. So, Union team looks like they have a couple guys flanking the rear. I mean, another thing that's really helping the CSA side out, we'll look at that in a second, but the whole CSA team really spread out. Union really condensed. Again, there's no cover for the Union team trying to cross the open field here. So they're trying to go in what cover they have, like this little trench line here and some of the rocks here. So it's not a lot of cover. The Union team is trying to condense in a really tiny area. CSA is really spread out, shooting into one area. Of course, it's going to favor CSA because it's a lot harder for Union to hit CSA than vice versa. I mean, CSA's almost got a crossfire in the Union position there.
Duke, we got Yankees in our bush to the left.
Yeah, I think we got a little far.
Left
Too
flank.
far from
So yeah, that is Jackson's division who's pushed up. 12th Virginia is going to charge them out.
Don't run, son! You're just going to die trying! Don't hit! Stop running! Stop running! Come here, boy!
So Jackson's division is getting pushed off completely.
That's right, boys.
I mean, D's is the last one left. Oh, Pro Gamer. Oh, yay! I was gonna say, is he gonna avenge himself from last round? After running away from the infantry, he's back. But nah, I mean, CSA hold that little push up, and you can see the tickets, right? They're starting to exponentially kind of favor CSA. I mean, both sides hitting engage around the same time. CSA wasn't fully together though, and now that the CSA team has kind of merged up completely, they are having a lot more success shooting down into the Union team.
I have to download something? I'm not doing that. I'm in the middle of a game.
It's perfect. It's worth the effort.
That was close.
Next
So, a lot of the Union main spawns looks like they're trying to gun to the opposite side of the map. Again, that's the thing for the Union team, is they have to try to get a foothold on the CSA defensive line. If they can, they win the game. It's like Nicodemus Hill a lot. Union has a huge ticket advantage on this map, and they can non-stop charge the stone wall on the CSA right. It's really difficult because CSA has shotguns and pistols, and Union doesn't. And again, they're charging at a stone wall with CSA guys with great guns. And so it's very difficult for the Union side to break through, but once they break through on that map, they will win it by a lot. But it's really difficult to initially take the spot. Now, you could almost argue that it's more difficult on here. Maybe argue. Just because you got to cross an open field, at least on Nicodemus Hill. It's a little more wooded. Not by much, though. They're both difficult nonetheless, though. I mean, Union has a couple guys over here. They were shifting a flag that way. Although, I don't know if it is over here or not. Is the billion-dollar question. Because, I mean, if they can get guys up here, that's great. But if they can't hold it for long, then, you know, that's rough. 59th New York there on the rocks. Already hit some 2 cores over here. What they could be trying to do, though, is pull the CSA's attention over here. Although, looking over there, you can see 2 Union flags trying to gun it across the map. I mean, that's the thing for CSA's side, right? As long as they can mirror what Union's doing, they're fine. You just can't let, you know, them get it. I mean, I'm repeating myself, but that's really the gist of it. You just can't let them get a foothold. So, and I mean, Union has the foothold on the left. CSA not really reacting a whole lot yet. I mean, the flags are noticeable from the CSA line. Because, again, it's a wide open field. You can see those flags from a mile away. Eventually, they're going to go invisible due to the woods on the left, but CSA needs to react. Again, that's part of the battle. 12th VA shifting over, 12th Virginia. A couple of the Union guys, I really like what Union's doing there. They're suicide charging. It's keeping the CSA in place. It's keeping CSA's eyes and attention in front of them instead of what's happening over here. Again, that charge won't work, but it's a distraction. Kentucky Outlaws moving over here as well. I mean, CSA is a good match. I mean, as long as they can shift, they'll do fine. Which, again, they're starting to, but they've kind of had slow reactions this whole round, which has been kind of the issue for them. Corn Brigade, Free States Brigade starting to run that way. Union flags have stopped, though. I'm a little curious as to why. Something I think important to note as well is, like, why isn't Union holding in the woods? It's out of bounds, which is heavily unfortunate for the Union side. Again, that's why it makes this map so difficult. 12th Virginia charging this out, actually. Kentucky Outlaws looks like they're pushing out. They don't want Union to get a foothold at all.
Come get some, bitch! Come get some, bitch! Die, traitor!
Sorry, Cardog.
I'm innocent.
Hey, don't push too far forward, guys. Don't push too far
It was all bait.
Come here, sit down. Come here.
So that charge is kind of lost there by Union in the end, but rest of the Union team starting to roll up. Looks like they're trying to get formed up before they go. Union flags appearing. Where's the CSA team? A lot of them still on this right side. Even though there's no Union there, Union has a window at this. Here they go.
Brace it, brace it, brace it. Brace. Countercharge him. That's all we got.
All right, Union's got a foothold, at least a little bit. They're not bringing the flags up, though. I don't know why they're not. You don't get an opportunity ever like this. Who are these CSA guys? A couple of them, I think, are dive bombing the flags. Free States Brigade. They're going to distract, but I don't know why Union's not bringing their flags up right now. I get you want to put guys up there and not lose your flags up here, but this is a golden opportunity to get a foothold on the CSA defensive line. You need to get those flags in action instead of having guys trickle up from a mile away. Nonetheless, will it work? I mean, CSA line's kind of backing off here a little bit, almost kind of giving it up. I mean, Union has a foothold now. That little FSB charge eventually gets stopped. Union rushing up. They're bringing their flags. Union charge continues forward.
From the top, make it drop.
CSA's pushing out. Oh, man. Nice arty shot from Union in the distance there. CSA reacting too slow, and Union has their flags up. This could... I don't know if I've ever seen this before on this map. We'll see. Can Union actually hold the position, though, as CSA is now charging Union out, or trying to. Oh, man.
Run out of bounds. Going through the woods. Go right. Quincy, go right. Quincy, go right. Just turn hard right. Turn hard right, Quincy. Go. Just keep going, Quincy.
Union lines. Oh, man. Why? I don't know.
Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing.
Keep going, guys. Go, 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 go.
Keep pushing, keep pushing.
I got no stamina.
Keep pushing, keep pushing.
So, Union team will lose the position. CSA breakthrough. Union flags, though, pretty much left the moment the charge started. They were ordered to. It's not like they're doing it on their own. The reason why they're trying to get out and run out of bounds is because when lost out of bounds, it's only a 30-second despawn timer compared to 5 minutes of what they would be if they were dropped in bounds. So you can kind of get the logic behind there. It just seems like that was a prime opportunity for Union to get a foothold and to have the flags leave pretty early on in the fight. I mean, Union did lose, so maybe it was the right call because, you know, if Union loses their flags in bounds in the CSA defensive line, you're not getting those flags back for 5 minutes. CSA is going to make sure you're locked down on them. So, you know, there's that aspect of it. Another thing, too, is looking at the amount of tickets each side has relative to time. Now, Union's down by about a fourth of a stage, maybe a little more right now. which is not terrible in and of itself. Considering the map, though, it could be kind of bad, just because, again, it's difficult for a Union team to take a position or charge across. Both, really, just because of the map setup. And being down any amount of tickets is not good, just because of how the end of the game will occur. When Union hits final push, it limits that time.
Fair enough.
And if Union can't hit CSA into last stand around the same time, that's going to be rough, because CSA will just be able to keep spawning guys in on the point, and Union hasn't been able to win a charge and hold a position, especially when it's been a full team combat yet. So, I mean, the only good thing I think out of this for the Union side right now is they've hit CSA down to taking losses before the 20-minute mark, which is good. You know, charging, being aggressive, even if it doesn't work as an attacker, you know, you can sit back and make it more of a shootout, which, since the Union has a ticket advantage on this map of, again, about 28%, they should be able to weasel their way back in. You would think, normally, according to theory, there's a lot of variables that go into a shootout in terms of ticket trade, which generally I consider shootouts to be even trades in terms of kills, because there's so many variables going into if someone actually gets hit with a shot, right? You have the skill of the individual, you have the elevation change, you have cover, you have sway of the weapon, you have suppression. There's all that, including the amount of people that are firing on each side, that it generally evens out. And that's what I've historically seen as well with shootouts for a long match. The bars go down about a similar rate. But since that each side gets a similar amount of kills in those shootouts, that also means that they're trading even on tickets roughly. And if one side, like the Union, has 28% more raw ticket value number, right? Union's going to be less affected by that ticket loss, since they have more tickets compared to CSA, who has a lot less. So, at least charging a whole lot and bringing CSA down can give the Union time to get into a shootout. Now, Union's had to spend a couple minutes forming back up, and it looks like they're going to hit the CSA left side, which CSA is, you know, all kind of reacted to at this point. They're all kind of over here. Union, I assume, has their flags. They do. And we'll see if they actually go in. Now, sometimes when Union makes this charge, they'll go into the woods, even though it's out of bounds, just to have it a little bit of cover, which is what some of them are doing. A lot are going for the open. But nonetheless, the Union's just going balls to the wall here, trying to break through.
Here they come! Get ready! Bales down, bales down, bales down, bales down!
It was meant to be bales down. Timing. Here they come.
Sweep him, sweep him, sweep him.
On the top, make it drop.
Get that flag, get that flag. Yeah, you missed your flag, dude. What do you
Oh, no, you don't.
I don't think this charge is working.
Roll him up. Roll him up like it's giant. Roll him up like it's giant. Look at me, Gerald. Protect me with your body.
All right, a couple of the CSA charging out, trying to get at those Union flags. Union flags are still up, though. Still a little bit of brawl. CSA charging out from the main lines. You have a little flanking charge for Free States Brigade as well.
I'm gonna kill every last one of you, Rebs.
And it looks like, in the end, CSA is going to be able to throw the Union team out of it.
Get that flag down!
So, one Union flag is dropped in, 2 flags inbounds. And the other 2 looks like they will get out. Masek getting one of them out. He just picked up one of the down ones. Pioletti's still running through. 3rd Union flag's out of bounds over there. I think Pioletti's trying to... Oh, never mind. He's going in for a kill. He wants something. Oh, he got it. Can he get a second? No. So, huge hold for the CSA side. CSA retains about a 1/4 of a morale stage lead right now. Again, Union's bringing both sides down on tickets considerably, which, all things considered, I would say it's very good for the Union side. I mean, both sides, if Union were to charge again, both sides are going to be in breaking with like 14, 13 minutes left on the clock, which is fairly good, and Union could make this a shootout for a while to try to even it back out. Now, although I mentioned earlier that shootouts are fairly even generally. And since Union has more tickets, they should do better in the shootout. The cover of a team can impact that in a huge way. In the CSA defensive line, again, with this death lay, this hill that goes across the whole map, it's huge for them. So, even though Union, you know, could win in the shootout theoretically, CSA is such good cover, I don't know how much impact it's going to get. But it looks like the Union team is just going to go in again. Again, they're spawning in. Their main spawn all the way back here, by the way. And they're just trying to trickle up to the CSA right side. And CSA, unlike earlier, is responding very fast. And kind of shifting with Union a lot better than before.
Those are tent games. We'll play those once we've whipped these Yankees.
Independent, independent. Make sure you got bayonets on. Make sure you got bayonets on.
I love red shirt in general.
Put your bayonets on, make sure you got bayonets on.
Oh, that, can't wait to die. The feeling is reciprocated, soldier.
Barrel's hot, barrel's hot.
You're dying for
Spread out.
You can't see
Oh, nice, already.
Amen, brother. I've lost my unit, so I'm just gonna stick with you boys. Yeah, no, I lost my
They're
unit.
charging. I mean, they have a little bit of numbers here. They're going to go forward.
Let's get them! You heard him! Kneecaps and nuts next!
Keep holding them. Take it. You can keep them as they come, but make sure you're being smart about it. Be smart about you.
Not much of a charge there. Kentucky Outlaws getting on the flank. A lot of the Union team, though, starting to turn it to the center. Some of the CSA, this Free State Brigade guys trying to do it again.
That's a lot. Gamer, no! Make you pay for that, rebel! Sorry, bud. Oh, sorry, bud. I'm being fucking retarded.
I can call you fucking fat retards for standing there.
So, I mean, I will say, right, Union turning their direction, trying to maybe catch the CSA off guard, really gets delayed because of those few Free State Brigade guys there. I mean, a lot of the CSA teams are already turning their attention to the center, so even though Union maybe tried to pivot, you know, it looks like CSA reacted fairly well to that. So normally I don't like guys going out there rambling like that, but those Free State Brigade guys have done really well. I mean, they've done some flanking charges, which has really delayed Union or distracted them enough. And I mean, CSA right now is up by, you know, a third of a morale stage, roughly, even though the bars look fairly close. When you hit a new morale stage or you're about to hit a new morale stage, it's like the bar is longer than what we visually see. And as a result, CSA is going to be like at a blank bar for way too long compared to what you normally see anyways. Nonetheless, though, Union team backs off. They hold on the left side. There is a Union regiment pushing up center. Jackson's division with a flag.
Run away.
And yeah, they were not in a good way there.
I got hit a bucking ball.
This face looks familiar.
So, Union team forming up. I mean, Jackson's division, the only group there. I mean, you got guys over here on Union right side. Colquitt's Brigade. 51st Alabama as well. So, I mean, Union, relative to how many tickets the CSA side has, they're doing fine, kind of, in that aspect. And you wonder how the Union side's going to play this. Now, CSA almost into breaking. Union can win by capturing the point at any given time, but the problem is that point is in the heart of the CSA defensive line. So, they're going to have to outright win a charge or two, and that's going to be difficult just to do. And so we'll see what shenanigans the Union side has planned. But they got to make it good. Union will have probably 2 charges if they want to charge twice before they hit their final stage of final push, which will only lower the time, if anything. They'll have infinite tickets. It'll just lower the time. That's why it's important to keep CSA similar. Because normally CSA needs to give themselves about a third to half morale stage lead to feel fine on tickets, which they're about at that right now. But for how strong of a defensive position this map is, CSA doesn't need to have that much of a ticket lead for it to be crazy impactful. Nonetheless, though, Union looks like Jackson's division, that group, they shifted their flag to the right side. Union's starting to mount up. And based on the movements over here, that's what it looks like the Union team's trying to do. Now, the Union team is trying to move way further back than they do. They have a little bit of death blade here. Now the question is will the CSA pick up on it? Because, again, Unions had success when CSAs moved slowly, and that has happened today. And I mean, even though CSAs move slowly, they've done good enough. And that's really all that matters. Because it's, even though this is a, like a season-wide event, and one match affects the other in a certain way based on if you win or lose, but it's not like a campaign board where this battle results in you losing this many manpower or whatever. So, CSA, nonetheless, they know what Union's doing. They're shifting their whole team to this left side. Again, a little bit trickled regiment-wise, but they are all shifting over here. And again, CSA's a lot more spread out than the Union side, which is going to work nicely for this shootout. Again, kind of shooting blind in there, but, that works. Union, man, I haven't seen this in a while since, like, Garland Stand. They're doing a little shenanigans here, so they pivot to the Union right side to try to pull CSA over here. They have. Union lines are now gunning it back. I mean, 2 corps shifting back. Now you got 59th New York shifting back. CSA is already shifting back as well. I wonder if the Union team right now is trying to spread CSA out and maybe catch them on a weak point. Again, a lot of Union force still condensed in the woods. That visual barrier is going to make it difficult for the CSA side to know how many Union are there. Kind of what we saw at the beginning of the match. And maybe CSA's thinking, this is a lot of Union going this way to our right. We need to pull as many as we can, which a lot of them are being pulled right now. And if so many CSA are pulled off this left side, it'll allow the Union to run up here. Now, Union right side, starting to shift center. I'm shocked they're just not going for it. They're making themselves visible about now. Although CSA aren't going to be looking that way. The whole CSA team is being pulled to the center here, where Union's starting to charge.
Sorry about that. It's okay. His gay NCO just put a fucking cap in your ass like cum. You want more cum? You want more cummy in your tummy?
Rest of the Union teams, I'm shocked Union didn't charge up the far right side. Nonetheless, though, they're going for point. I mean, this charge in the center, flundering out from 59th and 2 Corps. But the Union team is on point right now. They've pulled CSA's attention away, but can they actually hold a charge? CSA team charging Union in the arty position. Here we go.
I can't see shit. It's so dark. It's so gray.
Right the Yankee, right the Yankee.
Everybody get on point. Everybody get on point. Man, I got stabbed in my booty hole.
That charge is held. 5th New Hampshire now doing a Free States Brigade, has done this whole round. Hudson wants the flag. So does Daddy Ninja.
Holy shit.
Again, you normally don't like to see this too much, but CSA's up over a half morale stage. It doesn't matter. This gets Union down to final push. That clock is lowered to a little over 4 minutes. And now Union has infinite spawns, but less than 4 minutes to try and capture and take this point. That was a canister shot that just ripped through there. 5th New Hampshire guys are still harassing the Union flag position. Union only lost 1 flag up here. Sorry, that's a CSA flag. So Union did not lose any flags up here. So Union's going to have probably one more good push on this if they want to try and form up. And CSA has a half morale stage of respawns to just throw at the point to protect it. And, you know, props to the Union side. They have done a lot of different things this round. Again, there's no one token holder for the Union side. It's kind of the whole team working together here. They have not had an easy job. This map is not easy. I'm surprised they picked this map. just because even though Union's got the ticket buff, as we can see, and what we've seen since the ticket balance changed, watch this about 2 or 3 times, it is very, very difficult for the Union side to win this map. Union almost needs more tickets, probably. Because as long as CSA plays competent, again, they were a little slow in reacting this round, but fast enough to make it work, and that's really all that matters in the end. So Union's just trickle charging. Nice arty shot. Another great... Who fired this? 2 7th Michigan, 1 5th New Hampshire guy. Pro Gamer, Ellie, and Garland there. That was a great shot. Knocked down the flags. There's another arty shot over here, although I don't know. I think that might have been Star here. But this Union... Oh, never mind. Why is Star operating... Why is he in a Union artilleryman on a CSA gun? What are you doing, Star? Your uniform's very nice. And he gets the kill. How about some more? Aww. Alright, well, maybe it was Shifty who fired the gun. I don't know. Welsh as well. I mean, great arty shot. Union team. That arty shot. Oh, that might have been Union arty, though. You know, we got to give artillerymen their praise every once in a while. They do good work. So, a couple of Union guys trying to hit the far side. Not a whole lot of them. But this is, I mean, this is just over, right? Union was trying to form up, then they're like, crap, just go in. Just trickle charge. And trickle charges don't really work, especially over a wide open field like this. I mean, does this not look intimidating? Looks like Union maybe trying to run to the right now. They got a minute left. Oh, at least some of the officers are trying to go. Flags aren't really moving. Which, again, we saw the arty shots earlier. It's prime for them. Prime for the infantry, too, is really spread out. So, Free States Brigade is going to get a very, a good win here on Flemming's Meadow. I've said it multiple times. CSA reacted a little slow throughout, but fast enough to where they could hold the ground. Union had a lot of, the Union tried a lot of different things, but this is a very difficult map for them.
Let them come to you, brave sons of the South. Come and get it, Yankee. Come and get it. Let's get them.
It pains me to blast the Stars and Stripes like this, but... Let's go.
So yeah, GG's. Well done, Free States Brigade there. Jax's division last round as well. They get 2 huge wins as the regular season's come to a close. I think there's 3 more weeks left, because there's 2 originally planned matches, or 2 weeks of matches, and I know we've had some contestments and rematches, which maybe there might be a 3rd week for that reason, but nonetheless, 2 good fights tonight. Apologies if the commentary was a little off this round. Just keeping my eyes on the weather, which everything is good as I'm still commentating here. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video, hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the War of Rights broadcasts we do, and get exclusive access to non-War of Rights broadcasts that we do. If you're playing in this match, send me a link to your POV, and we can put that in the pinned comment of the video. But besides all that, hype the video. Appreciate you all. God bless. It's always truly a blast to do this. And look at the casualties, too. Even more than last round, I think. But phenomenal rounds. We'll see you all in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.